Yo, what's good? So Kai Cenat announced that Streamer University 2 is pretty much confirmed, and everybody's been giving their opinions on the entire situation. So let's go ahead and see what's going on. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let's get it.
About a year ago, Kai Cenat had arguably the biggest streamer event that we've seen in modern times. He invited a bunch of random content creators and some of his friends to a college campus in order to launch what was known as Streamer University.
That promo was crazy. He really had this looking like Hogwarts.
Happened. For the most part, it was arguably one of the best things that happened for a lot of content creators. Now, doing something unprecedented like this would cause for unprecedented criticism, but I don't think that people really realized how much that Streamer University will go on to do so much good for the streaming world, and it will ultimately go on.
Think about this. How many times have you seen a big creator open up their platform to that many people? Like, think about how crazy of an idea that was. Like, Kai told 120 people, yo, I'm gonna pay for your room, board, travel accommodations. You pull up and like you get to exist in this content world. And that's really how it's supposed to be. Everybody's supposed to be connected. You know what I mean? And a lot of times, and I think it's kind of the problem with the streaming world now, is that it's too transactional. Normally, bro, people are very conditional with who they bring around them. Understandably so, but it's really more of what can I get from you? You know what I mean? But with Kai, it was like, yo, fuck it. Like, I just really want to help people and I really want to open up my platform. I feel like the reason why he did Streamer University is because he probably knew at some point he was going to take a step back. So, boom, 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 boom. Like, we haven't seen anything like this in like a long time. And people were hella excited for the second one. I can't lie. Like, the second one might be better than the first because you iron out all the kinks, and then now, like, you know, way more famous people are going to want to be involved. Like, Kyrie say he want to be a professor. That's crazy.
To change some of the streamers that were in its lives.
If you try to recreate someone's whole flow, like let's say you try to do the DDG, it's not going to work this time. If something pops one time, that method instantly gets patched.
Why do you think that Streamer U got?
You take it and you change it 3%. You got to take the inspiration, but tune it to yourself, bro.
/ gets such a bad.
Go back.
That method instantly gets patched.
Why do you think that Streamer U got / gets such a bad rep?
Because y'all didn't get in.
Here we go.
Damn.
If you knew this and you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It's going to go a long, long way for the
Yeah,
channel.
that's how people are. Now, all the people that, bro, I want to let you know, if you said Begathon, if you hated on Kai, if you say he was performative, if you clowned Vivette, boy, you're not getting in. Delete those tweets, delete those comments. Matter of fact, Kai already been probably watching. He probably got a team of people that already been scalping. You feel me? But I think the reason why people probably talk bad about streamer universities, yeah, exactly, they didn't get in. And the crazy thing is, bro, the jealousy and envy is crazy because people really thought all 120 people were just going to like be massively successful and blow up and just go crazy, which it did put a battery in a lot of people's backs. What I can say is everybody that went did not come back the same. They came back learning and experience because a lot of people, bro, that was their first time IRL streaming. It was their first time really networking and being in an environment like that. You can't expect somebody to just soak up all the game and then all of a sudden they just up. You feel me? Like some people like Yana, Toda, they did their thing. A lot of people went, built connections, and it led to other opportunities, bro. You feel what I'm saying? So I feel like it was just a net positive. Like we need more events like this year round. Like it can't just be a streamer university. Like who else is going to host these events, bro? Where, streamers can collaborate and gain experience.
Tag along for Omizi.
Because, like, the more that you bring people up, the more opportunities it brings for those, for the people that are hosting the events anyways.
University, right? We could build a bigger and greater community along the way. Now, back to the video. When Kai Cenat announced his Streamer University, a lot of people thought it was the end-all, be-all for streamers new coming into the space. They thought if they were to get on in this sort of event,
it was people that never streamed or made content in their life thinking that they were going to go to Streamer University and then just blow up and it was going to be green. And it's still people thinking that to this day. No. You have to have been working from, if you have never made content from the previous Streamer University up until now, you have to have some type of track record, bro. You have to have something to show for it. A lot of people thought, I'm just going to show up and I'm going to be lit and famous. That's not how that works. You feel me? It's a cosign. It's supposed to boost you. That's really what it is. So if you don't have any experience grinding, if you can't even grind for yourself, what makes you think you're going to be able to grind for a whole other opportunity? Like that don't even make sense. You know what I mean?
Would have the finish line as opposed to a good starting point. And thus
Exactly.
started the disingenuous grading scale of what Kai Cenat could do for people in the streaming space. And a year later, people are looking back at Streamer University and calling it nothing but a success, and I honestly don't think it's fair. One tweet that I saw asked if there was any notable creator that had come from this event. And truly and honestly, maybe they don't know, but there have been a lot of resounding successes from Streamer University. First and foremost, Yana was technically on Drake's album. I don't know how that can't be viewed as some sort of success.
Crazy.
Then I would
Yeah,
say somebody
she's
like
up.
Extra Emily benefited directly from Streamer University.
But she was already up. She was already big. But the thing about Emily was that her PR, let's just keep it a buck, was her PR was bro. She was known as like an entitled streamer girl that didn't give a fuck about paying her parents back. She was running red lights. She's still like a Pogger streamer, but it helped expose her to a new audience, which like boosted her. And then she started doing this shit with Agent. It definitely boosted her shit crazy, but she was already big.
Having people notice her, i.e. The Weeknd's producer, notice her directly from Streamer University.
And The Weeknd knows who you are. I promise on my life, he knows who you are.
He does?
The reason why I know is he was at my studio last year. He was recording something, and he was watching SU, and he was like, "Oh, I like her perspective of SU and how she was walking around with the selfie stick all alone by herself."
And somebody like Tota arguably is the biggest streamer to come out of Streamer
crazy.
University. Not just landing.
Oh my
him.
gosh, bro. Casinacci, you are my friend, bro. Oh my gosh. Yo, shout out to bro. Yo, you know what's crazy? He really was just like, he really did pave a way, bro. And it was because of Ray. Ray seen himself in Tota, and he just put him right under his wing, and he just been shining ever since, bro. I can't lie.
Thousands upon thousands of viewers from being somebody who had a low viewer count, but also having the opportunity to join streamer group The Clover Boys.
Yup.
DDG went from niche internet fame to fully mainstream. Blasian Baby Lola
Bro,
pivoted.
DDG was already up, bro. But he was the one that, oh my God, he was like the number one that whole time though.
Into a more corporate setting. Lala Baptiste, Jay Cinco, Arky, they all built real audiences from Streamer University. People benefited tremendously from the opportunity to come together, create content with one another, collaborate with like-minded individuals, and ultimately be broadcasted to a new, wider audience. Now, I believe that those streamers mentioned definitely did Streamer University right, and they took advantage of what was to come afterwards. But there were some what people would perceive as a downsides of Streamer University, and the aftermath of it changed the streaming industry completely.
Streaming is dying out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Streaming.
hell
You
yeah.
think streaming is dying out?
Hell yeah. Streaming is like, it just became so oversaturated. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, me personally, from a creator standpoint, I feel like once Streaming University came and everything up, it made the numbers feel unreal. Like back then, having 7,000, bro, when you had 7,000 like a year ago, bro, that's like equivalent to a nigga having 60,000 right now.
Now, I think a little bit of context needs to be added. First and foremost, during Streamer University,
Okay, I see what he's saying from like a numbers perspective, but this shit was already, brother, this shit was already oversaturated. But after Streamer University, people are like, oh, I want to get into the next one. Yeah, that is, I mean, is it crazy? I don't know.
50,000 right now.
Now, I think a little bit of context needs to be added. First and foremost, during Stream University, somebody like a DDG hit 200,000 live viewers. And everyone was about at
Damn.
15K to 30K. So 500 to 1,000 viewers, it almost seemed like it wasn't impressive anymore. I do think that the goalpost moved. But most importantly, out of a Streamer University,
I mean, that's because that's more eyes on streamers in general. So yeah, of course.
saw so many people want to hop into streaming. Now, I think it's worth noting, Jay Cinco was at Streamer University and definitely monetized off of it. He's just pointing out the fact that people showed up to the gold rush that he got in early on. But that's basically how every single gold rush works. People see this thing blow up in the space and then everyone rushes to do it. Most of them doing it with half attempts, to be quite honest with you. If you go back and look at all those people who bought phones after Streaming University,
Oh my God, they're like, oh yeah, that shit really did show the meth. Like, all I need is a Samsung and I can run around and I can stream. Yeah, that shit is crazy. But I feel like in social media in general, there's always going to be noise, whether it's streaming, whether it's YouTube, whether it's TikTok. You just got to find a way to like get your personality out there. And that's kind of like one of the things that I'm kind of learning as a creator. Your content is important, but how people feel about you is like the most important part, bro. Like, it's not just, oh, I just can get my phone and I'm just going to clip farm and I'm just going to go crazy. How do people feel about you, bro? That's the real question.
Content creators who stepped into streaming, and just some people who tweeted, I wanted to get into streaming right out of Streaming University. A lot of them aren't doing it now. A lot of them have totally stopped. A lot of them have fallen off.
That shit ain't easy, bro. A lot of people thought, I'm just gonna get in front of the phone and clip farm and I'm gonna go viral. No, bro, no. Streaming is the hardest shit to make it in because all roads have to come to your stream. So like you literally have to pave a way on multiple different platforms. I'm about to draw this shit out. So let's say this right here is like your stream, right? You dead have to funnel your YouTube here. You have to use your TikTok here. You got to use your Twitter. Damn, TikTok is already black. TikTok, Twitter, right? Then you got to use okay, I did Twitter, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, whatever, right? IG, I'll put IG kind of like pink. So now you got to use all these streams of content to push back to your stream. You feel what I'm saying? And you got to use your stream to get your content out. And the thing is, bro, people are fickle. Like most people will not give you a chance. They're not going to watch your stream. They'll be comfortable watching you at these other avenues because like they really have to feel some type of way, bro. And you could be printing views all day, every day. That doesn't guarantee that you're going to get viewers, man. We have full blown celebrities thinking they're going to be a lit streamer just because they have a name and then they have no viewership, you know? And even with a lot of these big streamers, man, that's why a lot of them fight and inflate their numbers so they can increase their value to get more people to watch, because you know how people are. But like, oh my God, you got 30,000 viewers. Let me go watch.
Wholeheartedly.
Now, it's not easy. And then if you're a beginner, yeah, guess what? You're gonna be streaming to yourself. You're gonna be streaming to nobody. It's gonna be you, Stream Elements, and Nightbot in this bitch. And you got to find a way to get creative and talk to yourself. Because that's how it was when I first started streaming, bro. It was 3 people in there. And I had to get creative. And I had to basically talk to myself and post on different platforms and get people to fuck with me. And even then, I'm nowhere near where I want to be at. Because you have to keep going. You have to keep pushing and advertising yourself and put yourself out there and collab. And, you know, and there's a whole dark side of content that I could talk about, where it's like where you do put yourself out there and then you get stung by people, whether it's just a lot of shit, bro. It is a lot of shit, and people think it's easy because they see the finished product. Oh, don't even get me started about the tech. Oh my God. Do you know how to use IRL toolkit? You don't. Do you know how to set things up? You don't. Can you get a consistent cameraman? Can you consistently plan content? Can you deal with content flopping? Come on, bro. You really got to be dedicated to do this. I think a lot of people just thought that it was going to be easy, but nothing in life is easy, bro.
Probably looking for an opportunity to uplift themselves from whatever financial burdens that they had, not understanding how real of a task and job streaming actually is. They thought it was something that could be fun, monetizable, and taken lightly, but it's actual serious hard work. One where you have to devise a plan and a strategy that leads to a long and fruitful career. Or you could attempt to take the shortcut like some of these content creators did and go the whole insane attention farming type situation.
Y'all close? I got some money for you. We are close. I'm famous. You can't do me like that. Can't make me a taco? Damn, nigga. I can't get a chicken taco? Just make me a taco. Sit down. I give you $100. You don't want $100? Wow, that's crazy. That's up, man.
He said, you gonna that $100, a week $100, boy. What? He's trying to close the store up. He's trying to because look, you see she got her homies and shit. He not trying to make just one chicken taco. He trying to go home because he got to close, bro. It is what it is, bro. Damn. Let me bribe this broke 9-to-5er. Let me give him $100. He'll do whatever I want.
Do that in front of 20,000 people? Hey, La Berea. You.
I'm not gonna lie, chicken taco does sound kind of good right now.
Damn, you saying?
Now, on surface, this clip is kind of funny, but the problem is that she said, I'm famous. Therefore, you should stay open for me. Therefore, you should make me some sort of chicken taco.
Oh my God, I am famous. Nah, bro, that's a whole other thing, bro. A lot of people got these inflated egos, and they think that just because they go viral and they think that just because they have a name on the internet that they're just this massive celebrity and everybody just needs to treat them a certain way. Like, nah, bro. Just because you go viral, trust me, some people will know you, but not everybody's gonna know you, and not everybody's going to give a you know, a lot of these influencers, they got numbers. They got numbers, right? That's without a doubt. But there's levels to this shit, bro. I'm gonna tell you, there's levels to this shit. Like if Kai Cenat walked in this, that chicken taco would have bust. That would have been made with love and care, boy. What are you talking about? I show speed walking that, getting a whole plate of chicken tacos. Fuck is you talking about? You know, anybody from Robert Downey Jr. walking that, getting a taco. You know what I'm saying? It's really levels to this shit. If you're a niche micro influencer, that doesn't necessarily guarantee that the world is not your oyster, bro. You know,
the problem is that this type of personality trait or type of content that you're going for supersedes any type of content that you're, you know, supposed to be getting known for. They're going to remember the arrogance. They're going to remember the entitlement over anything. A platform like StreamerU gave Samaya the recognition, but recognition only matters if you can convert it into a real audience. This is why people connected this specific moment of Samaya to the academics criticism from a minute ago.
We know you for literally a rapper. That's why we know you.
Don't ever try to do that to StreamerU and all that. Don't give a fuck. Don't downplay I got going on.
What the fuck? Was that AI?
Wasn't not just that these people aren't famous. The criticism was that these people were acting like the platform had already made them.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Shout out to Streamer University. I love Streamer University. That is a flex because it was millions of people trying to get in. It was like 7 million people who flooded the website on day one. So that's like 10 plus mil. Like you had a better chance of getting accepted to Harvard. Let's be real. That's crazy odds. But it was just like the Clippers, they just make everything funny, bro. I don't like these Clippers are funny as
stars before they actually built anything. Arguably the worst part about Streaming University is that it gave some streamers and content creators the thought process in their mind that they were just famous enough that they didn't have to actually go out there and build an audience. And when attention doesn't turn into a real audience, some creators don't respond by actually building and growing a real audience, getting down and dirty and building up a community. No, they respond by chasing these moments, these viral moments, these things that get them clipped. And this is where you introduce a Nina Lynn situation into the mix.
And the language that you're using in front of a 13-year-old.
Nah, you know what's crazy though? Nina Lynn was actually hella. I think she is still very entertaining. She has a very big personality, very boisterous, very like New York energy, right? And she had a lot of momentum, but like as soon as the essay happened and then the nuisance streaming happened, it just stalled all her momentum. Same thing with like Zoe Spencer. Like she still got some momentum, but like that, it stalled that out a lot, you know? Yeah, she really could have had hella viewers, bro.
I don't appreciate.
This is a public space. I'm gonna let you know that right now, man. This is like the most barren argument ever. I cannot. What the hell? 1, 2.
Is this a public space though? You're at an establishment. You're at a business.
Do not be recording.
I'm saying that.
It's just me. That's me. We got no one else on there. 1, 2.
Imagine doing this.
Now follow me. For what it's worth, Nina Lynn and
Oh my
Samaya.
God, I'm not gonna lie. You had to be built different. You had to like the level of I don't give a fuck is so high. Like boy, I would never do that. I'm sorry, bro. I give a fuck too much. I got social anxiety. I can't do that where I'm just running around, being all up in people's faces, forcing cameras. That's like when you become a nuisance. I like, you know, I made my Twitch account in 2013. A lot of people don't even know that. When I think of streaming and what other people think of streaming, it's like two different things. Like when the modern streaming audience sees this as like modern day reality TV. The way I see this was you play video games, you talk to your community, you react to videos, you know, you collaborate like the Discord days and I'm thinking about like the 2020 days. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of crazy. Like a lot of people have these inflated egos. Like what would make you do some like that? That's crazy.
Are not the same example at all. Samaya is somebody who represents entitlement after the attention. Nina Lynn, on the other hand, represents chasing attention after the spotlight starts fading. When you go to an event like a Streamer University and you're surrounded by all these other streamers, your numbers look more huge than what they actually are.
Well, yeah, because people are watching you not because of you. They're watching you because of who you're attached to. That's why proximity is everything. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That's why it's like I'd rather just like do my own thing for a while. And I'd rather not collaborate with people. I'd rather do my own thing and then build up my own name and have people with me for me, which is kind of like my whole thing. Like, I'd rather have people with me for me than with me for who I'm around or what I've, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't create an environment where people stay, because that's a fleeting feeling. Everybody's numbers kind of went down from that point because of that, you know?
They look inflated. And so coming back from a streaming university back to your hometown, people were chasing that high again. People were chasing that feeling as the numbers dwindled down. But instead of, I don't know, planning out different collaborations with content creators, they sought the fast track. They did whatever they needed to do to get people looking again. But the problem is that people looking again doesn't mean that people actually care. Drama can create a viral moment for what it's worth, but it doesn't mean that you have some sort of loyal audience. In fact, it probably will create the opposite effect. It'll create a loyal audience of people trying to see you fail. And then after that, the controversy becomes the brand. That right there is the trap. Streamer U gave Nina Lynn a chance to create a lane, but the lane that she decided is something that people will mostly remember her for being controversial in. But not every failure looks loud and messy.
He's right. He's right. He's not talking about that whole situation though, because that's pretty much the reason why her career went down. And then I feel like she kind of went on like this revenge arc, because like, as much as people forget that when you're a creator, people forget that you're a human being. There's still a mental aspect that you have to what is it called? Overcome. You still have to overcome that shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's shit that happens with myself. Like, we deal with shit in our life, in our real life, every single day, and we have to learn to kind of put that shit to the side. And even like the internet can have an effect on you and shit. So I don't know 100% with what happened with her, but she probably felt like, damn, like I gotta get the last laugh on the internet, and probably started doing the nuisance. I don't know.
People didn't crash the moment. They just let the moment pass them by. Indie Love presents a different type of missed opportunity. She already had the name recognition going into the event, so
I don't think she really had a missed opportunity. I think she did what she needed to do. She got an audience.
Her issues weren't exposure. I've known India Love since about 2014 back in the Tumblr days. Her issue was more so about conversion. If you take a look at this screenshot, India Love had great viewership coming from Streamer University.
But the reason why India Love was so massive during Streamer University is because her name was attached to all the biggest creators. She was one thing that a lot of the big creators did good is that they created a storyline where she was kind of in the middle of all of it. She was roped into it, right? DDG was trying to rizz up India Love, and that was kind of almost like his girl, his love interest. And then you got Duke Dennis, who's like this Riz Lord, like a Elden Ring final boss, who's coming into the mix, and he's trying to rizz up India Love. And even past Streamer University, it was kind of almost like this love triangle where people didn't know who she was going to pick, and they were invested to see what was going on. That's why things took off for her so well, because she had proximity to DDG, to Duke Dennis, to Kai. She already had a name. So that gave people the reason to want to tune in. But the thing about India Love, she doesn't really have content. I'm not trying to hate on her. I'm just being real. If somebody said, what kind of content does India Love do? I can't answer that question. And I'm not saying that to hate. I'm just saying that to be real. When I think of iShowSpeed, I think of his tours. I think of all the desktop stuff that he does. I think of like all of the big streams that he's done. Kai, he hosts amazing events. He curates really good guest segments. He's done gaming marathons and a bunch of other stuff. He does a lot of crazy content ideas, right? I can't think of anything that she does that would make me want to tune in. Her stuff is really more personality driven, which is cool, but like, you feel me? Like, I don't know. It's not really much to keep you around.
It dwindled fast.
Like, what value are you getting from an India Love stream? Because a lot of the clips that I see of her is about her, like, being 30.
One of the reasons why is because she most likely did not have any sort of identity or characteristic that would have people coming back to her.
Brother, great minds think alike. Word to my mother on everything I love. I did not watch this video. May God strike me down. May God strike me down. The clips that I see, India Love shaking her talent on live, and it's her just shaking that BBL, just shaking that big fat round. You feel what I mean? Shout out to India Love though. She's India, you want to go on a date? I'm here, my baby. What the fuck? What? Boy, I've been keeping up with India Love since back then. She was the it girl. What are we talking about? What? Younger me would have been like, yeah. Come on, bro.
Streams and her content. Most of the time, she just decided to tether herself to a male streamer in the space, most notably DDG. And we all know how that ended up.
Yeah, she did the Rizbot method. If you want to come up quick as a girl, you be a Rizbot. Just get rizzed up. That's literally it. Fast track. If you're a guy and you want to come up quick, be the jester. Humiliate yourself. You'll come up. Be the butt of the joke. Have people laugh at you. You'll go up quick.
Most notable moment post Streamer University.
Breakout Streamer of the Year went to Streamer of the Year went to Adapt, and congratulations, and we respect you for what you did. But Rakai should have won Breakout Streamer of the Year and DDG. I don't care what y'all say. Shout out Rakai and shout out boom, 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 boom.
Crazy.
This was an opportunity for her to reposition herself. I can remember before Streamer University, Zoe Spencer came to the internet talking about how there weren't a lot of spaces for women to succeed without them being tethered to the guys. And I've talked about that multiple times on this channel before. And India Love was put in a unique opportunity. She was positioned to separate herself from the pack and then ultimately embrace a whole different lane that streaming hadn't really tapped into. But she didn't really do that. She never separated herself. She never made a lane for herself. She never really took the opportunity.
Yeah, she never did that. She never did that in the first place. I'm not trying to be overly critical. And I hate when girls say this though, because I mean, I'm gonna say this, right? I hate when girls say that because it's up to you to create that lane. It's not up to men to create a lane for women. Like, that's absolutely diabolical. Streaming is extremely male dominated. Women don't watch streams because they're not losers. Let's be real. If you think of, on average, there's more male losers than there is women losers. A man will sit there and watch a live stream for 8 hours. Women actually have lives. You feel me? But here's the thing. It's up to women to create content that resonates with women to so that they can watch that. Because who relates better to a woman? A man? No. Women relate to women. That was like Pokimane trying to say, oh, we need a female Kai Cenat or a female version of ISO Speed. You could have been that. You're over here complaining about it when you could have did it. Are you traveling to these countries? Are you traveling to 5 countries in a day like ISO Speed? Like, this dude's Speed is damn near killing himself to do these tours. Are you going to be live for 30 days straight? Chances are you're probably not going to do that. So what are we talking about? Like, you would have to be willing to go above and beyond. You would have to be that person. And I think it's easier to say that you need it than to actually do it. And you can say, oh my God. No, I love women. Ladies, I love y'all, but it's just the truth.
It's the truth. Out and maybe even galvanize some of the young women in the streamer space. I would say that people left her streams not knowing what to expect. And that's probably true for the individual streams. But for the streams where she did exactly what she did, they put her in the box of a pick-me, which, hey, rightfully so. But at the end of the day, it was a missed opportunity because she didn't sever that tie to the existing fan base that was already there, that wasn't really there for her. So then anytime she had a moment, people would react, people would make their think pieces, but ultimately people would move on. And I could go on and on about different examples from Streamer University, but once you look at all of them, Ray's point becomes the part that explains the entire thing.
Yeah, if you got part two, how do I tell you? We not getting in, bro. If
Ray, you're getting in. You're getting in.
If they're streaming you part two, I'm telling you, bro. Whoever go back the first time, you're not going back this time, bro. How do I tell you, bro? It's over, bro. There's no way letting people from streaming you first go to a second. Like, there's no point.
Ray is stating here that Kai Cenat is not inviting the past streamers from Streamer Universities, the alumni, back.
I think that's a genius idea. I'm gonna be honest. Give there needs to be new faces. Everybody that's up right now is the same faces with the same collaborations, the same world, same people doing this, same people doing that. It has to be new, fresh faces who can come in and innovate. That's why things feel stale. I love that idea. I think that I think it should be across the board, but obviously the big people are going to be there because they're the selling point. They're the ones that have the experience. So all the big people, like the Clover Boys, probably DDG is going to come back. A lot of the big people, they're going to come back, but a lot of the mid-tier and smaller people most likely will not be coming back. That's the truth.
into the program because it's not some sort of crutch. It's not some sort of permanent support system. It was a launch pad. That means that the event in and of itself was temporary at best. You're not gonna be that one alumni that's always hanging around the college campus, whether it's during homecoming or even past homecoming, trying to relive the glory days with your varsity jacket that you've clearly outgrown, still hitting on the girls at the local college bar. That's weird. That's disgusting, gang. What you were supposed to do post-Streamer University is take the clips, take the moments, take the attention, take all that opportunity and start building something when you were on your own. Because if your career only works when there's a Kai Cenat backed event,
then how is it gonna exist when you're by yourself? Exactly. You have to have people buy into your personality.
Ultimately, you didn't build a career. You just built dependency. You built another place and space for Kai Cenat to succeed, but not one in which you can thrive on your own or with collaborating with some of your peers that are also alumni.
I still think what he did last year holds weight today.
Of course.
Yeah, Streamer University.
Of course, bro. Of course, bro. That's literally a groundbreaking event. Yeah, I think this next one is probably going to be better. It's probably going to be at a bigger school, bro. Kai could fuck around and build his own school. You know what I'm saying? This shit is going to be crazy. It's going to be more celebrities involved, probably way more new people. It's probably some people who've been fiending for this opportunity that are going to get it 150%. But I agree with everything that Omizi said. I'm going to be real, bro. It's about content creation is really about how people feel about you, not the conditions that are meant for them to watch you. So if you can't even establish a personal brand, it's like you really have to get back in the lab and get people to, kind of buy into that. And I think the thing with like a quick cosign like that, that's why it's like, if you're really going to be established, you have to have like the consistent cosigns, but you have to have people really fall in love with you, bro. You know, one thing that I realized from all the years that I've been doing content is like, I've chased views for so long that I was convenient and people didn't necessarily feel some type of way about me. So this time around, I'm trying to get it to where people buy into my personality than all the other shit. It's just like, if they're not there for you, it doesn't matter what you do, bro. It doesn't matter how crazy shit is or what you do on your own. They're never going to be invested in you because they don't give a fuck about you. But if people fuck with you, then it doesn't even matter what you do. I could dead make a video laying in my bed, yapping, and that bitch to go up because there's already that investment.
How many, you know how much like further that pushed streaming university and how many like careers spawned off of that? Like,
that crib is
you could probably chill there for a minute.
Anyone making any sorts of criticisms about what happened to any of the streamers from Stream University, are there any successful ones, is being totally 100% disingenuous. And I think it's two reasons why they do this. One, I think it is a part to shade Kai Cenat because the internet's going to take an opportunity to shade him regardless. But two, and I think more importantly, just because it doesn't exist on your timeline doesn't mean that it did not happen. So
bro,
I've taken the opportunity.
You know, the majority of people that say that are fucking TikToks. You know what I mean? They're the people that sit there on TikTok and they think the streaming world is dictated by their For You page. It's not. You really expect, there's 120 people, right, who went to this event. You expect to see all 120 people and you are invested in all of their storylines? Brother, what are you talking about? That's too much. You know, there's an algorithm exists, bro. You know, some people are just not going to be on your algorithm. They're not going to be your cup of tea, you know. But I think that cosign does hold a lot of weight and you can flex it to kind of get what you want. That is true.
Opportunity to have conversation with a couple of alumni from Streamer University to ask about their experience during the process and after to truly understand if they were or were not successful or answer the age-old question, was Streamer University a waste? Marcus, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing great.
How would that be a waste? You still gained. What do you mean? If you still go to the event, you still are gaining something. Like what?
Doing Omizi.
Hello, I'm Kai Woos, and I am a Stream University alumni.
So the reason why I've asked you for this today is because maybe 5 days ago, it was the year anniversary of Streamer U.
Yep.
Shouts out to the Streamer U alums. Now, your walk is a little bit different because you were already in the space with the quote unquote big boys before Streamer U. But I want to know, after Streamer U, how has your life changed?
It's kind of...
Bro, why do they got these man, what the Why they wearing matching blazers?
Been the same in the sense because, like how you said, I was already around the people, but it's just the obvious viewership increase that I've been able to maintain. Because I still wasn't, even though I was around them, I still was a small streamer before that. So yeah, so I would say obviously the viewership increase, which comes with, you know, the financial bonus and shit like that. So I would say that because I didn't get too many clips off like some of the you know, the bigger guys. So it's not like I took off like Yana, this, that, and the third.
How have things been just in general since Streamer U?
Honestly, amazing. I feel like life has been so active. I low-key didn't even realize it's been a whole year since because I've just...
Time flies, bro. You blink and a whole year goes by.
I don't think I've ever been this busy in my life.
Oh,
Bro,
wow.
I'm just looking at her dog in the background. Kai Uwus. Shout out to Kai.
Is this with just different opportunities that come with being more visible in the space now?
Yeah, I think different opportunities and also like a different drive. Like whenever you see how people move as a bigger creator behind the scenes especially, you start to realize like, oh, I'm not putting in as much work as I thought I was. It's like the planning, the execution, the editing, the meetings, the like conceptualization of ideas. Like you don't
Okay, big words. Conceptualization of ideas. Some of y'all don't even know what that means.
realize that all of this is happening because whenever they show up on camera, they're just there to entertain. They're not there to tell you about the logistics of being a streamer or like being a content creator.
And the thing is, bro, a lot of these people got teams. They don't even tell you that. They got a content planner. They got multiple editors, clippers. They got management people behind the scenes. So you think it's just, oh, they just sparked live and they just did what they did. But it's really like 9 people working behind the scenes. Like Speed, brother, he got a whole operation. Kai, whatever you think his work ethic is, bro, multiply it by 3. He got an entire, man, that man basically had a whole call center for this shit, bro. Like literally, he was working overtime. You feel me?
General. So like being able to see that without them trying to entertain an audience made me realize like, oh, I gotta lock in more. I gotta do more. I gotta push harder. So I've been like trying to like apply a lot of those ideas myself. And ever since then, just always editing, always recording, always doing something different.
Yeah, I totally understand. It's a grind, but I value what you're saying. When you see others are doing good things, great things, the only thing that you can do, well, you can do 2 things. You can elevate or you can say, well, maybe that's too much for me. I just don't need to be a part of that.
Yeah, exactly. It's like realizing that you have access to the method. It's like, okay, now do I want to be that tired? Do I want to implement that? It's been a slow implementation for me because I'm like, I don't want to burn out, but it's been very satisfying.
Now, this is some of the controversial questions that people have about Streamer U. How come we aren't seeing more people that attended Streamer U be successful?
That's not something I've thought about too much because I feel like everybody kind of, you know, it benefited a lot. There are some people that, you know, probably didn't see too much benefit after it, but a lot of it could be preparation. I think a lot of people didn't or maybe didn't know like what to do after. Like even if you do get this increase of viewership, what to do after, how to capitalize on it after. It's still it put people in the right rooms, in the right doors, and I did think it served a purpose. But if you're kind of just thrown into the lion's den without, you know, really expecting, you know, I feel like a lot of people would just kind of trying to find the, you know, the most respect for what he said. But you'll kind of fizzle out a little bit because, you know, just not being prepared. Because I mean, even me, I didn't know what to fully expect, and because I was a smaller streamer, it was rocky for me off like just starting just from the type of person I am. So yeah, I think it was a culture shock for a lot of people not really knowing what.
Yeah, that is true. I'm not gonna lie. Like a lot of these people, you seen them, like the bigger creators, bro. That shit is just another day for them. You go in, you boop boop boop, do your shit. You already have the structure around you. The clips go. You know, you got everything in place. You good. If you're learning on the fly, there's a learning curve. So you're literally playing from behind, trying to catch up.
To do after
for sure.
It. And yeah, there was a lot of people that did know what to do, and they took full advantage of it. So yeah, I that's what I would say.
I was talking to another person that I interviewed, and they were saying that, like, you know, a lot of these people, just because you don't see them doesn't mean that they're not successful. And then also, like, who defines what success is? Somebody may now be more consistent than they were, and even if it's not at the height or numbers of 500, 600, 1,000 live viewers. Ultimately, though, just being consistent is much better than where they were when they first started, where they were a little inconsistent. But they also might be killing like Instagram, Snapchat, all these other things like that too.
I think people forget that Twitch is one of the hardest platforms to grow, maintain, and see success in regardless. I mean, even people going from 0, even if you're at 100, 200, even if you're at 50, like all of that is a win, because without getting that boost, like it really is, it's not impossible obviously, but it is very hard, especially with how many people is trying to stream now, to go from nothing to even a little bit. Like it is super hard. So even if you went to Streamer U and you came back and you average 50 viewers, you're still at a very high percentage of people on Twitch, because most people on Twitch, like majority of people on Twitch,
they stream to nobody.
Which are streaming to nobody right now.
Thank you. They stream to literally, most people on Twitch stream to 0 people. So if you even have like 10 people, that's still a dub. I can't even lie. I mean, yeah, what they're saying is facts. Plus, you got to understand, bro, the pace of the internet is the rate at which people consume content and then like to get somebody to watch your stream, I already told you, that's like the last step. Like you really got to win people over, bro.
Yeah, it really just depends. Most people think of success, they were expecting everyone to graduate Streamer U and average 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 plus. But that's in itself just super hard to do regardless.
How come we aren't seeing more people that attended Streamer University being successful?
I think it's because everyone's metric of success is different. Like I know people that aren't as active on socials that are like buying properties because their money's up. It's like, because it was called Streamer University, everyone will see you on like TikTok Live or on Twitch and they're like, why are your numbers so low? Like, what was it even all for? Meanwhile, like you're actually getting millions of impressions on your Instagram and you're getting millions of impressions on your TikToks and you're getting invited to hang out with their favorite creators. So it's like, whenever you put that into perspective, it's like, just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. I always remind myself that there are people who make a living on content that I'll never know their names. I'll never know what they create. So it's like, just because we were introduced to a certain audience doesn't mean that was the audience that we necessarily belong to. Like that wasn't our niche. I'm no Kai Snap. Like I'm the first person to admit that I don't have that energy and I don't have those ideas and my personality doesn't fit into that. Whenever I was chasing that right off of Stream University, all I did was deplete my money and burn myself out and realize like, oh, I like IRLing, but like I don't need to like do it.
You might have not even been a good fit for that audience. That is true. Yeah, there's different algorithms and shit. That's facts. I didn't even think about it like that. Everybody got their lane. So you trying to swerve up in somebody else's lane, but that's not going to take you to where you want to go. You got to drive in your own lane, and unfortunately, you probably going to lose people along the way.
Or I don't need to do these ideas specifically because that's not my audience. That's not what I'm looking for. So I think a big part of it, too, is just like, we're not in your algorithm because you don't like our content. And I think that's fine. Like, because we have our audiences, we have our people, and the internet is so vast. So I think a lot of people are just like really in their zones, and it's not that they're not creating, it's just that they're in a different like area of the algorithm.
I think people forget that the internet is so big. So just because you're not seeing me doesn't mean that I'm not working until one day, like I pop back up on your algorithm and then, you know, I've got this going on, that going on. And you're probably like, oh, wow, I haven't seen this person for years. But
yeah, exactly. And it's like those people that people expect us to.
But people's whole metric of success is whether you popped. It's like, let me spin back. People's whole metric of success for streaming is whether you popped up on their For You page. You remember when the streamer awards were going on and they were voting, everybody was voting between Rakai and Adapt won, and people were like, who the fuck is FaZe Adapt? Adapt had been on YouTube for over 10 years. He was a YouTuber for a long time. And then he, won the breakout streamer because he broke out and was doing his shit and people voted for him. But their whole thing was, I never seen him on my For You page. Streamer awards, not For You page awards. What are we talking about? For You. So the creators that you didn't see, they weren't for you. Yeah, that's literally true. That's
be around 100%. On camera. Sometimes we don't fit into their content, but like behind the scenes, like a lot of the people from SU, especially like the professors, have been so incredibly helpful with like mentoring me over the course of this year. So it's like, just because I'm not popping out on a stream doesn't mean that those people aren't still helping me elevate my content to fit what I want to do for the rest of my life, basically.
Why do you think streamer you got / continues to get such a bad rep?
I mean, if I'm be honest, as glazed as it sounds, I think most of it is just because it's under Kai's name. Like, if this was another streamer's idea that doesn't get as much hate.
That's how they did Mafia-thon 3. Oh my God, dude, it's a fucking begathon, bro. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. People just hate. Look how they did Vivette. Oh my God. Shit's crazy. It's just because Kai is so massively successful, bro. And the thing is, now they're starting to turn on Speed. When he did his tour, oh, we're so tired of the fucking tours, bro. But he literally told you his plan is to travel around the entire world. The internet has a switch-up problem, bro. They'll support you to a specific point, and when you win too much, then they just flip on you instantaneously.
Then I don't think it would see that much. And then I think a little bit of it too is there, like a lot of people will fuel the fire for the hate because they weren't picked. So some are just like, it was some niggas that weren't even going to give it a chance, even though they were going to watch it, but they don't even give it a chance to praise it because if it had super dreams, because there's a lot of people that for some reason, and I'm seeing it now for if he does a second one, I'm seeing.
Oh yeah, all the people that had hate comments and shit's getting deleted. And they're going to apply, well, Kai, I've been a fan for a long time, and I'm hoping that blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, you hated on everything that bro did.
Post now where they think this is like end all be all. Like I'm seeing people hit me up like, damn, like they think like if I don't hit this, then you know, like it's over with. So it's like it's people like that that was like, okay.
That's the problem, bro. That's what's gonna make. And here's the thing, right? If you think like that, your time doing content is gonna be a living hell because it's not tied to the input, it's tied to the output. You're doing everything to get a specific thing. So you're going to try so hard to control it. But here's the way that life works. You're not in control of the outcome. You're in control of the income. You're in control of what you put in. And the unfortunate truth is, bro, in life, people fall in different, we're not in control of the outcomes of our life. We can just try to control the input. You feel me? Some people, bro, they post one video, go viral overnight and become mega famous. Right? Like the girl who, Leah Hamilton or whatever the fuck her name is. She posted a video and because she looked good, now she's lit. You know what I mean? And then there's some people who go their whole life, they're funny as fuck. They got good quality. They mad consistent. They post throughout the years and nothing ever happens. Because unfortunately, bro, life isn't fair. And you may fall into the bucket of you become a full-time creator, but you may be not that big, or you're a massive creator, or you're a part-timer, or whatever, you know? But the one thing that I've seen that people gravitate towards is whether you're having fun. And if you're so tied to making things be the way that you want it to, you're going to be chasing your dreams. And what happens when you're chasing something? It's running from you. The way that you attract what you want is not being tied to the outcome. Who gives a fuck? I'm having fun. Like right now, I don't give a fuck how many I don't give a fuck if I get a 10 out of 10 video. If I get a 1 out of 10 video, I'm like, damn, that shit's cool. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I'm here to have fun. I'm not here to force shit. I'm here to be authentic. I want a community of people who give a fuck about me. So if you hear and you give a fuck about me, I appreciate you and I love you to the moon and back. Other than that, you just do what you want, bro. Because the more that you give a fuck, and like it kind of sounds crazy. Like, you're supposed to give a fuck, but you can't, like, give too much of a fuck. That's literally what I'm trying to say.
I need this so bad. I don't get it. And then, okay, I'm just going to kind of join in on the hate because who are these nobodies?
Exactly. You're just like, fuck it. Okay, well, I gave it a shot and this shit. When in reality, it's like you could have just kept grinding. You know what I mean? And the way that life is, like, a lot of the people that you see that are up, ask them how long they've been making content for. Because I've been making content for a long time. For a long time. And you got to just stay down till you come up, bro. Sometimes you may have to wait 10 years. Like Kai, look, you can go back to his first video. He was a jit.
His people and this, that, and the third. So it's like it's a culmination of a lot of it. But I think most of it is because it's under Kai's name.
And it's interesting because in my research for the video, I went back and I started looking at all the people who were like, yo, I hate Kai Cenat, I hate Streamer U, I hate the people that got selected, and they should have picked the smaller guys, and da-da-da. They did all this complaining. I went back and saw what they did from that point till today. And there's so many of them that haven't done anything. Haven't touched nothing, haven't streamed consistently since. And I'm thinking to myself, did you think that this was like your super duper put on card right here? Like Streamer U was really gonna put you there?
But I think you might be one of the first people that has done that too. I think a lot of people, some of those videos popped. Like as soon as he revealed what happened, it was like a huge debate, at least on my timeline. Because I mean, some of these videos were on TikTok, at least were hitting of people just like complaining about it, and it's too many people, too many famous people, and this shit ain't gonna hit, da 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 da. But yeah, if you went back and did that, that would be far to look at, because I
and then all the people were like, oh no, they did their thing, like all the big people were there, because all the people, bro, I'm gonna be real, a lot of the people that hated that it was big people there only watched the big people. They didn't give a fuck to watch all the small people.
People didn't take this opportunity to put Bill.
I'm gonna try not to call nobody's name out when I do it, but
if they want to call people out, like whenever it was time,
that's true.
I could call them out, because it's gonna be some people that might even look at other people and say, hey, you haven't streamed that much in Streamer U. Like the other mad that they didn't get the opportunity, but them might have not streamed as much as the people that they saying don't stream, after the opportunity, if that makes sense.
No, I think that's fair. If I call them out, what they gonna do? Stream about me? Hell,
stream about me?
In the first place.
Stream about me is crazy.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go band for band. Why do you think that Streamer U gets such a bad rep?
Because y'all didn't get in.
Here we go.
Like, realistically, if you look at the people who criticize us, it's the same people that are like, I would have done better. And I feel like a major reason why I got criticism was, one, it was the first time it ever happened. Two, like a project of that scale is crazy. Like there's no way to control over 100 people in an environment. Plus the location got leaked before we even started. Like that shit was crazy. But no, I just feel like a lot of the criticism comes from people thinking that they would have done better. And I don't know, to that, I'm always just like, just make cool content then, because
if you're gonna make it, then you can make it on your own. For sure.
It wasn't like a get rich quick kind of thing. Like I think people also forget that virality doesn't come from one moment. Like success doesn't come from one moment of virality. It comes from it stacking and like getting those opportunities. So I feel like, I don't know. I think a lot of people are just upset about it. I think a lot of people are bitter that there's not a part 2 announced yet. I think that's the opinion of a lot of the alums, is we're kind of like, I don't know why you're so upset about it. Cause like, if you were there, a lot of people are like, people didn't get anything out of it. We got a lot out of it. I think even people who didn't have viral moments, again, like seeing how those bigger creators move was crazy. But yeah, I really don't know why it gets so much like backlash other than that.
I do think what you said is true, that people thought just off rip that they would have been able to do more with it. But I'm gonna be quite honest with you, because at the end of
you come around some of these people and then you get egoed, then what are you gonna do? And you get softly egoed. What are you gonna do? You're gonna go and burn bridges? What are you gonna do if your shit isn't working and you don't know how to work the tech? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Like, bro, people talk a big game. It's like, bro, I would riz that girl up. And then they come around a girl, or they're like, where the hoes at, man? I'm about to get some bitches. And then they go out in public and there's a bunch of girls and they make like 50,000 excuses, bro. Literally.
And that's what this whole video is about. I went back and looked at a lot of streamers or content creators or whoever that made videos at the moment saying like, oh, I would have did X, Y, and Z. Went back and looked at what they did in the year. Respectfully speaking, y'all wouldn't have made it. They would have been the people that, took the picture with Kai, took the picture with Duke, took the picture with Agent, and then it would have just existed in that ecosystem right there, their Instagram or their Twitter, but they wouldn't have done anything else content-wise, because they didn't do anything for a year. It didn't.
They don't have an identity. They don't have an identity, bro. That's why it's like having a personality, why should I watch you? Well, you should watch me because I think I'm multifaceted, right? If you ask me, why should you watch me? I feel like I'm multifaceted. People don't watch me for just one reason. People watch me because I play the game and I make people laugh while I play the game. People watch me because I have a lot of insight on a lot of different topics. I try to talk about trending topics in internet culture because I've been keeping up with that shit like for my entire life. I'm really good at giving commentary about shows and movies and shit like that. So people like to talk about that shit with me. There's a lot of things that I know about. There's a lot of things that I like to do or that I'm interested in or things that I want to get into. So it's like, okay, boom, but for a lot of other people, you can't really pinpoint why to watch them.
Hungrier, it didn't make them more motivated that they didn't get in. It kind of just said it just to say.
Yeah, a lot of people, they're like, oh, I see somebody else doing it, so I want to do it. And then they don't really have an identity.
I agree. And that's like, people will come into my streams all the time. How do I get into SU Part 2? I'm like, well, what have you done since SU Part 1? Because that's a big thing I always say is I'm like, don't let someone else determine when you blow up. Just
dead ass. You should be trying to, that's what if you can't even show it for yourself, how are you going to show it for somebody else?
grind.
Literally.
Who knows if you're going to need it by the time it comes back around. If you like are really producing content the way you want to. I think another thing is so many people think about getting into it that they kind of forget that content is about the love of the game. Like
that's what I said. You have to enjoy what it is that you're doing.
So many people are just waiting to blow up that it's like, just play games with your friends, just go IRL, just like have community. Because I truly honestly believe that's why we all got in, is because, you know, first round, you're like, what are the odds of me really making it or someone that I know making it? It's so slim. I'm just going to shoot my shot. Like, I love doing content and I've been doing it regardless. And I think that's why we got in. I think more people should just care about content instead of caring about the opportunities that you might get from it.
Last question. If you could give advice to someone attending in the future.
I think one of the first things is people have to take what they saw from the first one and apply it. And obviously in your own way. If you try to recreate someone's whole flow, like let's say you try to do the DDG, it's not going to work this time. If something pops one time, that method instantly gets patched. Obviously, like, you know, girl content is going to hit on the next one too. Like, so it's going to be separate themes and shit. You're going to have to bring your own sauce, your own flavor, and not just like don't just go in that to say I'm just going to do exactly what Rakai did last time so I can try to get 200,000 views. I mean, it's not going to work. You're going to have to bring your own sauce, bring your own flavor, be you, because even whenever you leave that, you're going to have to uphold, like, you're going to have to, like, if people attach to something, they're going to have to want to keep seeing that. Another thing is know that you are being thrown into, like, just be prepared to be thrown into the lion's den. Like, just know the Clippers are going to be outside, and if they saw a certain situation, like when people are bullying people, trust and believe, like them clips hit, trust they will be sniping for that same. So just know you might get bad clips. You got to know how to navigate it. Don't let it fuck your vibe up. Like, yeah, stay ready. I mean, it's gonna be some weird people that's clipping, just trying to get themselves a banger, this, that, and the third. So be ready for that. And have got to worry about your post-streamer you strategy. What do you do after that? Look at the people that obviously took off after it. What did they do? And then how do you kind of apply that, obviously without biting one for one. I hate people that bite one for one, but add your creative spin to what, look at the people that did take off, look at the people that you would think are successful after it, and how can you apply that to your everyday stream after that? Because it's going to have to be the hardest that you've ever worked after that. Like, as soon as stream use is done, there is no chilling. There is no damn that was a lot. It's none of that. It's going to have to be, you're going to have to be posting clips, socials, collabs, literally everything. So yeah, just learn from the mistakes of all the people that went for the first time that were gonna be made, because this was the first time, you know, we went through that. So yeah, man, just learn from everything.
Last question. If you could give advice to someone attending in the future, what would it be?
I would say number one, schedule content out before you get there that will like air as you're in the middle of Stream University so that your algorithm is taking off. We didn't have service while we were out there. So luckily I had videos that were scheduled, and that allowed me to get some kind of traction because I was not posting like that. I'd also say one thing I learned was you can be genuine and be ambitious at the same time. I kind of blocked myself off by being like, I don't want to be a character. And by that, I ended up like slowing down how quickly I became close with a lot of the people from SU. Like now a year later, I'm like finally hanging out with them and finally talking to people because I'm like, oh wow, like it's not clout chasey to talk to people in your network. So I just say like, don't let your fear of like misinterpretation like control how you act out there, because people are going to misinterpret you regardless. You're going to get clipped out of context. You're going to get one guide. It doesn't matter as long as you know what your goals are and who you are at the end of the day. Like that's all that matters. And also have fun. Like I think like,
gotta have fun.
It's one of the most fun things that you'll ever do. It's a summer camp full of people that have the same interests as you, and it's just fun, bro. Like it's just nice to hang out with people that are ambitious and driven and hungry, and I'm so grateful. Like
okay, this kind of dragging. I
I think people went into
I'm fucking with the kumbaya vibes. My dopamine is fried.
to Streamer University with a bunch of misunderstandings as to what the event.
Okay, I'm gonna let the video rock, man. Hey, this was a good video. I'm excited for the next one because this shit's gonna be crazy. Other than that, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and if you stuck around, type the word potato so I know that you real. I'm out.